intensely painful feeling or experience of believing that we are flawed and therefore unworthy of love and belonging. So do you have anything to say about love and belonging before we go to the guideposts?
Wow, are you reading? Which page are you reading?
Oh, sorry, page 39. So there was Shame Resilience 101. Shame is something we all have. We are all afraid to talk about. The less we talk about shame, the more control it has over our lives. So I read a paragraph on page 39 of which.
And then I was thinking about shame. You see, we spoke about shame and the big things. Then I was thinking about and the small things, like when you go somewhere, you're hungry, and they can offer you food. Is that shame?
Yeah.
And, you know, and you just you can see when that person is hungry and they're coming from a very bad place, but they will say no and no. It's a juice. Is that shame? It's a culture. I don't know that it's another culture, but our culture is
it's conditioning as a child.
Yeah, as a
you
child.
never went out and ate anybody's food.
Yeah.
And shame is even as bad as you go to a high level event and you don't want to be yourself and just eat with your hands.
Exactly.
You are just struggling with chicken and fork and knife and
Perfectionism. So I asked about love and belonging because the lady says, Dr. Brown says that shame makes us feel we are unworthy of love and belonging. So why would someone put up a straight face and want a certain side of theirs or a certain story to be known so that you guys can accept me as this Nekesa
Till you make
who does, who does podcasting and has no problems in life and I do not want, so it does that, is that the opposite of love and belonging? Like you guys won't love me, I won't belong, or I want to belong. There was a way she was explaining it. Because the moment I tell you my shame story,
maybe you'll change your perspective.
You guys will change your perspective of
you really
Yeah.
have to take it.
yeah. So will I belong anymore? Because that's what she's saying. Like we are just, from the word go, we are all just fighting for love and belonging. To be loved and to belong.
I think for me, I would tie it with perfectionism. You want to appear a certain way.
Yeah.
So you're not flawed.
Yeah.
You don't have problems. You're perfect. So what will these other people who you want them to accept you for who they think you are think when they actually get to find out that you're flawed? You're just like everybody else. Yeah. So
It's a perfectionism thing. Those are
and
shame loves
conditioning.
perfectionism.
It loves
Yeah.
perfectionism.
So let's go through the guideposts very quickly. I'll just read all of them. There are 10. There's cultivating authenticity. There's cultivating self-compassion. There's cultivating a resilient spirit. Cultivating gratitude and joy. Cultivating intuition and trusting faith. Cultivating creativity. Cultivating play and rest. Cultivating calm and stillness. Cultivating meaningful work. And cultivating laughter, song, and dance. So we are not everyone will talk about everything. We'll just pick the one that will be spoken about. Yeah, then someone else speaks about something else. So you can pick whichever you like best. Maybe I can start. Cultivating gratitude and joy. I remember that because I had a very hard Christmas and New Year. And so for me, what has kept me going is, aside, and the way she was talking about that thing of having an attitude of gratitude, that's not doing. There's a huge difference. Attitude of gratitude is not waking up to do your 1, 2, 3 gratitude journal. And so,
attitude.
yes. And so I started sitting down and saying, you know what? And actually that turned around my situation, the way you're talking about positive thinking. I wake up and write, I limit myself to 3 things. 3 things I'm grateful for today. And that has helped me, the way we can focus on problems and not focus on good things. So when you do your 1, 2, 3 things I'm grateful for, I'm like, I'm fine. We are good. We are well. We are moving on this thing. So I move on. And that has really been, a good thing for me. And I love the way she described joy and happiness.
Yeah.
It has to be. Joy is just, I was thinking
Kairos.
of it as I was thinking of it as something. It comes from uko ndani, and then it's not that it does not mean I'm joyful. I'm not happy.
Yeah.
Like joyful people are not almost always
Bubbly.
jumpy,
Yes.
bubbly, and what. But I have joy. I have my joy. So when I realize that these two go hand in hand, when I wake up, do my gratitude journal, I have set the day. Like no matter what, and I have this joy. For some reason, I will get it. I'll have it. So I really that was my nime cancel hiyo. Nime talk about it.
Can I just add on that? I just want to share something I do on gratitude.
Okay.
There is this thing, I know Vision. Who knows Vision? Like Kiani,
Yeah, I know.
Mind Valley.
Mindfully, I know.
So there is he has a gratitude. There is an app that is called Mind Valley, and he does something that is called a 6-phase meditation.
Oh.
Yeah, and in that 6th phase, there's somewhere there is so there are those stages. One of the 6 stages is the gratitude. So it just tell you like, sit back, imagine something that you love, color it, do, and it puts you in that space that you're able even to feel. Even you feel your heart getting
Yes,
joy.
your heartbeat even.
Yes, even your heartbeat.
Wow.
So if you can maybe go through it and listen to it, the 6th phase, I think it's very good because they even take you to imagine your future, what you see, what kind of life do you want, and you can start imagining yourself in that house, in that what you feel. Even when you wake up, you're like automatically your day. You just even it tells you to imagine your day when you wake up, commuting, at work. So I think part of that gratitude, someone can try that 6th phase. Yeah.
And okay, let me just finish. Alisema TGIF. I'm trusting, what I'm grateful for, what inspires me, and how I'm practicing my faith. And I also liked her description of faith, spirituality, blah blah blah.
And also that faith is not in contradiction with reason.
Yeah.
Because most of the time we tend to put
Yeah,
it
against each other.
Yeah.
Actually, so it was her status today.
Yeah, I was actually into that.
Yeah. So someone else can go, Sheila. We go like this again.
She wanted to add, so let her finish.
You
that.
wanted
Mine
to
is
add
different.
on the
Actually-
gratitude and joy? No.
Yeah, what was the question?
Oh, she was speaking
I'm
about
saying we just pick
guideposts.
the guideposts.
Yeah.
I've read the 10, so you can pick on one and talk
Oh,
about
the
it.
one.
One that stood out for you, one that you really liked.
Definitely the one that is on my status, because I think for me the most profound thing was the opposite of faith is not doubt, but certainty. That I think summed up the entire chapter about faith and the need for spirituality.
Yeah. Cultivating intuition and
Yes.
trusting faith.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So how do you cultivate intuition?
It
You
has to
said
come
we
from
need to listen to that voice.
yes, and I think it comes a lot from the stillness of inside you. Because how else would you have that? You know, there's actually a place where probably you are, if from a spiritual angle, where probably a lot has been shaken, then you just come to quietness. A lot normally comes out of that season where when you see something, you are not quick to judge or whatever. Your intuition leads you to, I mean, this is the right path, this is the thing to do. So I when I read this, I felt then that for you to cultivate this thing, it has to be start from the stillness of within you. And how do you gain that stillness? It's from courage, it's from compassion. All the 3 things that she's already started from the very start. Yeah.
Wow.
Mine is meaningful work. Because I realize that it's so easy to be on autopilot mode. Vitu hufanyika and they flow, and that day goes and another day comes, and you're just on repeat mode. But I told myself after reading this, I think it's about time I practice what I've been reading and be intentional about work. And work the way we read it in Ikigai, and integrate the two and make it meaningful. And it doesn't have to be so and so started this business, so I'm going to copy paste. It has to be just you and what you believe in, how that is so authentically you. And I also like the fact that there's something that has been on social media for a very long time, and for those of us who like to read the Medium and all that, the Great Resignation.
Yeah.
Everyone is quitting their job to do ABCD. I quit my job to start my business. But she says you don't have to quit your job to go do that other thing. Like you can be a writer and a baker.
Oh,
And
yeah,
you can
love
be
that.
Slash.
Yes.
Yeah, slash.
It reminded me of, I forgive me for my random examples. David in the Bible, how can he be a fighter and a lover? I mean, totally different, but it is possible to exist in one person and be all that. So that for me stood out.
Wholeheartedly.
Meaningful.
Meaningful work, my friend.
Yes, meaningful work, not autopilot.
We hear you.
Cultivating creativity.
Yes.
Yes.
My best also.
Yeah, I think that one I need to work on it. No matter what, even if I'm not paid, nikiona natakana kufanya like now for my example, sahi system I work with the Ministry of Education. Na inabadilika inatoka 844 iende CBC. You don't know what will happen. But now you have to be creative. You and your fit.
Wow, the next phase.
So it doesn't matter even if I'm not paid. It doesn't matter inakaa utoto.
Yeah,
I still do
true,
it.
true. Creative.
When I was challenged when she said that thing of nowadays all houses just look the same. There's no one now painting their walls, doing creative things. Our houses are looking like hotels, big hotels.
I could see the house in my head.
But then usually I feel so
That's
painful
But
because
I saw even the curtains and everything.
we laugh about it.
Yeah.
But parents walikuwa natushonea mix and match.
Yeah.
They were doing things with their hands. There's nothing as creative people and non-creative people.
We are all
creative.
creative.
Yeah, true.
Yes.
It's usually my best.
And there was somewhere, just to refresh, sorry for interrupting, the last seal on creativity, try something that scares you or something you dreamt about trying.
Yeah.
So you can imagine that thing that you think you...
This is me creating. This is
This
me creating. Jackie?
At least
Okay, mine was, I think, the same with hers.
Yeah.
That's guidepost 5, cultivating intuition and trusting faith.
Yeah.
Because I didn't expect it. I've read most of these books, but somebody who's captured it that way. Because me, personally, the way I increase my intuition is when I pray. When I pray like this, I stay in prayer, my intuition just goes...
Like you have a heightened sense of
sense of things. Yeah, I really get a heightened sense of when I pray, especially if I even know when I'm slacking. If I slag in my prayer life, then my intuition goes down. But if I pray, I start even seeing things like before. Like you start saying, this is not the right way. Even in your spirit, you start feeling uncomfortable. This is not the right thing. So it is also, we've been brought up in this thing of if somebody has an answer. Then I discovered nobody really has an answer. Nobody, like, come on, if you are going to start business, like, somebody has an answer, which is the best one, which is the best in the market. Nobody has an answer. So people just tell you differently. So then it comes to this. Sit down, pray, and then you hear what you say inside for yourself, then you move. Not that you won't mess up, you will.
Yeah.
Not that you won't mess up, you will. But I feel it more satisfying that I followed your intuition. Then, this is what you actually wanted. That even if it backfires, that's exactly. If somebody else tells you and then you do it, I think it comes with more regret. Why did I listen to them? Certainly, I could have followed my heart.
But even in the failing, like you become better.
Yeah, exactly. It's not failure.
It's not
a
failure
lesson.
per se. It's a lesson.
You fail forward.
Yeah.
Cultivating play and rest.
Play and rest.
Do you have rest in your schedule?
I have no idea. I think I'm overdoing it. I think I'm overdoing it. At least even during the day. You remember the time I sent a book I was reading? You asked me, I was at work. But I just decided,
So according to you, that's rest?
I switch off. I'm at work. No, finding rest at work. Other than for the other part, the holidays, I have schedules. Hii mwaka mpaka December, I have holidays schedule. I even have a budget or a financial plan.
No, unafaa to include, by the way.
I planned for a year.
Yeah.
So I have planned quarterly. I even have identified places and have a plan. So that I'm working out towards achieving that plan. So that when it comes to play and rest, I have maximized on that. And also at work, I have taken time to leave my phone on the desk and just go to the grass, sit down, feel the sun, and read.
Sure.
So looking tafuta, you have no idea where I am. So with that play, there's an activity there that you will say. Let me see. Let me read page 102. We think accomplishment and acquisition will bring joy and meaning, but that pursuit could be the very thing that keeps us so tired and afraid to slow down. If you want to live a wholehearted life, you have to become intentional, as we say, about cultivating sleep and play, and about letting go of exhaustion as a status symbol and productivity as a self-worth. It was somewhere I was saying you write something to do, ingredient for joy and meaning. You have like 2 columns. You say things that bring me joy and meaning versus things that I wish to acquire or to accomplish. Then you compare the two. Also, there was an activity there. I love activities. Ingredient of joy and meaning. Conditions that are in place when everything feels good in your life. So I think it took me 2 days to write that down. To think of condition in my house, at what place, at what point do I feel good in my life? So I listen. And with that, I'm able even not to work toward. If this is what is giving me joy, now I work towards it.
Wow. So there's this that someone, I think did someone share this? We are a nation of exhausted and overstressed adults, raising overscheduled children.
Yes.
We use our spare time to desperately search for joy and meaning in our lives. So if we want a wholehearted life, we have to become intentional about cultivating. Now that one, we read sleep and play. But yeah, it's true.
I don't know. Being still, I don't know how to be still. People say about meditating.
Yes.
I don't know. If I sit for 1 minute, I'm like, what am I doing? I just walk out.
you know, people confusing being still by being having a blank mind. I mean, there's nothing in your head. No, that's what people. You can't hear to figure anything. No, your mind is always busy.
Yeah.
But there's sometimes you can even be still. Hata kama nafikiria venye ndapika hiyo githeri sapa, but I can hear the birds. I can even unasikia tu hiyo wind ikiflow.
Present.
Because it's very hard to control your thought and mind. So when someone tells you that you be still, I don't think of anything. You're taking all the.
So that's why it just stops there. Be still and not think of anything. It stops there. Okay, you are to vacation.
But I think it has something to do
and somebody
with
help. I don't know.
Calming down, not to be anxious, because we tend to be. It's the autopilot thing that you should be anxious about something. You're pursuing something, but you can be still and you have all that, yes, but you're calm.
I like how she asked, do I have all the information about what I've just had? You know, the way we react. Hey, I react before you finished your sentence. I react. I react before you. Nishajua kenye unaenda kusema. Nishajua answer. Hadi kuna hadi hata umesikia, hata sikuwa najua umesikia kenye unasema. I have answered.
Yes,
So that first, this person says, Dr. Brown says, take a minute. Ask yourself, do I have all the information about what I've just had? Like, before you react, is there more information that I could ask? Maybe it an idea before I fire back. And then number 2, take a beat. Like,
breathe.
Yeah, breathe. Breathe. Breathe kwanza. Just be calm. Oh, tuko hiyo boat. Where I am.
Me, when I'm alone, like, but when it's responding to somebody, I'll start asking, is
Questions
it true?
First.
I ask myself, is it true?
No.
Are they lying?
I remember that.
Yeah, that one I do. So it's very difficult for me to react.
Stillness is not about focusing on nothingness.
Yes,
it's about
exactly.
creating a clearing.
Yes.
So it's opening up an emotionally clutter-free space and allowing ourselves to feel and think and dream and question.
Be who you really are, then do what you really need to do in order to have what you want.
So, kwanza, authenticity is something that can be cultivated.
I
Yes,
think so, yeah.
because on page 53, she says, when we go against the grain
Yeah.
and put ourselves and our work out in the world, some people will feel threatened and they'll go after what hurts the most. Our appearance, our lovability, and even our parenting. So it means it's something that you have consistently decided to practice.
Yeah.
And when you decide, and that statement was very true. Anytime you decide to make probably a change,
Yeah.
and you decide inwardly, I am going for this change, I'm going to be this type of person. Sooner or later, in a week or two, there'll be people who are not comfortable with your new self.
Yeah, true.
So it means authenticity is something that you're slowly cultivating, and even because people are used to your state of being inauthentic, then are suddenly shocked that you can be a new person, you can be a new you.
You're setting boundaries.
Yes.
Anyone else wants to have a go of that? Authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we are supposed to be and embracing who we are.
I meant to add on what she said. It can be hard also because you're going to lose some people. How you say? Yeah. It can get really hard.
Yeah.
You can backslide, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
Because now you can get lonely.
It's like
Let me
running
just
your
go
own
to that
race.
group we used to drink with.
Yeah.
Or like you say a statement and people laugh, they're like,
They just say, "Me January too."
Oh yeah, by then it's January. Tunakupatia masiku.
And even you just give up and say, yeah, I'm comfortable being an authentic. But maybe it's comfortable.
Yeah,
Because
true.
it's something you perfected. And that is perfected, so you're comfortable and you're okay with it.
Yeah. So she says choosing authenticity is not an easy choice.
Yeah.
To be nobody but yourself in a world which is doing its best night and day to make you everybody but yourself means to fight the hardest battle
That's true.
which any human can fight and never stop fighting. Staying real is one of the most courageous battles that we will ever fight. No maana hakuna mtu anaguza hiyo.
I think to make this
Hakuna mtu anataka kuguza hiyo.
But I think for you to live a truly authentic life,
Yeah.
then you must have answered, who am I?
Yes,
true.
yes.
Why am I
that
here? What
part
do I
of-
want? So unless you have walked that journey, then authenticity, what does it mean?
But
How
you
do you
think-
even live it?
But you think we will is there anyone who will ever get all the answers to those questions?
It's a process. It's a journey.
So we can't say you're not authentic
Yes.
and you're not authentic until you get those answers.
Yeah.
We're not saying that.
We're not saying that.
Yes,
Yeah.
we just say that
We
you have
say-
the faith to do the stuff, and at some point
That make you authentically you.
Just as I read, you must first be who you really are. So you know, but then I think deep down we know who we are.
We know.
But we don't like it or we are not comfortable about it. Yes.
Or the way she's saying,
Courage.
you're
I don't
fighting against everything that's telling you don't be you.
I remember there's this ideal. You're supposed to be thin, you're not supposed
See,
to
that's
talk
what
too
she's
much,
saying.
you're not supposed to.
But right now it's not being thin. Right now you must have hips.
Kuna hata hii that you're not who you are because of maybe kutafuta pesa. Maybe myself najua I'm good at teaching, for example.
Yeah, true.
But kwa sababu haina pesa.
Yeah. That's
Shida.
you've spoken about me.
Yeah,
Teacher,
Mashida.
volunteer.
Yeah, but now
How are you sure that is your authentic self? It's something you love.
You know,
unfortunately we are doing that to our kids. And the other day, the way you choose activities for your child, and between me and Raf, we kept on saying, "Oh, Ariella needs to do music because we're trying to mirror
Around
what
it.
she is."
Yeah.
And the teacher says that child loves ballet.
yeah.
And we're like, how is it doesn't even atafanyia wapi?
Your concept is not
But
sitting
what
right.
amused me is the teacher kept on saying, this child loves it. And she disobeyed us and let the child go to ballet. And I was like, maybe those are the type of teachers now we need.
Yeah, true.
Wow. That is also something I picked from this book because she says, is it this book or some book about passing on these things that we are going through to our children? As much as we are thinking we are doing differently, unless we deal with these issues? Because that question you've asked is a good question. And the whole point of digging deep, dig deep. It's not something you'll read and run. You'll take the time to dig deep, like Enye, honestly, who is authentic Nekesa. You know? But because whatever I'm teaching my girls right now, what is it? It's all this also, the things I've picked and that I'm carrying from social media, from where. And that's what I'm impacting in them without my knowledge. Because every day I'm with them, I'm living, there are things I'm saying.
Yeah, especially what we
Either I'm already passing down what was passed down to me, or whatever I'm picking, instead of now these healthy, fresh things. Which are, tunasema ni kazi ngumu. Haya, cultivating self-compassion. So she says, she started with a quote, that the thing that is really hard and really amazing is giving up on being perfect and beginning the work of becoming yourself. So this is where she's really talked about perfectionism. It's not the same thing as striving. Yeah. It's on page 55. Yeah. So perfectionism is not the same thing as striving to be your best. It's not self-improvement. This is perfectionism. So you need to understand the difference between healthy striving and perfectionism, right? It's to lay down the shield and picking up your life. Where?
I read somewhere that was asking something I am perfectionist about.
Yeah, because we are all on that line. Kuna kakitu it's not that kuna perfectionist na hakuna. So I like what you're saying.
It took me so much time. I had to go and ask my hubby. I couldn't answer that one.
Something you're perfect about.
Yeah, perfection. Because you know, there you're saying the difference between being perfect and doing things the right way. So I just had to go and tell somebody. I discovered the best way to get this answer, just ask another person. You get some answers and you're like, never even struggle. I'm not a perfectionist. How?
Does it mean everyone has something they're perfectionist about?
Yes, that's what is being said. Yes. We are all on that spectrum. So a moment of self-compassion can change your entire day.
Yeah.
A string of such moments can change the course of your life. So she says we have perfectionism, self-talk, those things that we go and beat ourselves about. And the way sentence, that I highlighted it, I think perfectionism exists along a continuum. Yeah. So we just fall there. There are kuna extremes of perfectionists na kuna wale tuko hapa. So perfectionism never happens in a vacuum. It touches everyone around us. We pass it down to our children. We infect our workplace with impossible expectations, and it's suffocating for our friends and families. Let me not say here, but yeah.
Weird KPIs.
Yeah.
And there was somewhere, self-compassion has 3 elements. Self-kindness, common humanity, and mindfulness.
Cultivating a resilient spirit. She talks about cultivating hope, practicing critical awareness, letting go of numbing. This part of numbing. We all numb stuff in one way or the other. So letting go of numbing and taking the edge of vulnerability, discomfort, and pain. So we have to come to that space where you can cultivate hope. Have the ability to set realistic goals. Have the ability to figure out how to achieve those goals. And believe in yourself. You can do this. You can do this. Yeah. So that's the whole point about resilient spirit. Hope is a combination of setting goals, having the tenacity and perseverance to pursue them, and believing in our own abilities. Basically. So do you take the time to laugh? Do you take the time to sing? Do you take the time to dance?
You take 5 minutes to dance. Even I wrote down, I take 5 minutes to dance. I'm still checking on that one.
On that 5 minutes. Nataka kukuona. I'm waiting.
And then I used to dance. I think something must have happened somewhere.
Growing up.
Really, I used
When you
to
could
dance
dance
a lot.
with fun.
But right now, even waking up, you see the way she was saying that example where they were in the mall with the child.
Yeah.
I can't do that to my children. That's what I thought.
You
You
told
throw
them
them
stop
under the bus.
dancing.
You like,
no, wanna dance
when
along.
every time you supermarket, you're pinching, you. Even you have a very hard time because you're not like, you're thinking
not enjoying it.
That's why I look at it. It is, I worry what people are saying, not even they are doing something wrong. Unasema sasa nataka tufukuzwe supermarket. Si shida, you have no problem, but utaki tufukuzwe supermarket. You like give them, you're controlling them. When they do something, don't touch you. That is my story of my life in the mall. So I'm like, I think I need to practice more of, if someone wants to even walk and jump, what is the problem with jumping? As long as I'm how sure am I at angusha or something? So I think as mothers, some of us we feel shame on behalf of our children. Who don't feel shame at all? Yes, because you feel like they're embarrassing.
They're being judged. You feel like people will say my children wako na tabia mbaya. I haven't raised them right. So immediately, every time you leave the compound with your children,
orientation 101.
that guard, it just comes up. Let me tell you, unatokanga na mtoto hivi ndio unaona hata hujapanguzwa uso, hata umepatana miguu. Kwa nini ukiwa ndani? You want to sing all this. Song and dancing makes us vulnerable. So it's part of wholehearted living, and that's why it's very hard for some of us to dance.
Me, I do it as part of workout, not but I also let people use, like, just be yourself. My daughter is the opposite of me. She is the one who knows everybody and everybody knows her, and she'll bring everybody. Oh, friend, but they're friends. That's the kind of a person she is. So and that's okay. I try as much as possible not to be the controlling one. Stop doing that, do this, but there's normal regulation so that they don't go overboard. But I try as much as possible not to think what will people say about you, what will and I was very intentional also about school, where the teacher does not cage her, so that she's a free spirit, then suddenly she's a different person. I was like, I don't want to take her to a place where she will become.
For school, are you able? Do you have control?
You can imagine. You can.
Some schools.
What's a public?
Can we go around? We will discuss this after we finish. Can we go around read your favorite statement, your favorite paragraph?
The way I've been reading.
We have
highlighted everything.
Green, yellow, I have all colors.
So just let's go around reading. Mi niko na yangu. Can I start? Because now you guys are looking for it. We go this.
No, just pick whoever is ready.
Okay. So my story matters because I matter. This is about wholehearted. Was it about spiritual awakening or wholeheartedness? This is a movement. A wholehearted revolution is a movement where we can take to the streets with our messy, imperfect, wild, stretch-marked, wonderful, heartbreaking, grace-filled, and joyful lives. A movement fueled by the freedom that comes when we stop pretending that everything is okay when it isn't. A call that rises up from our bellies when we find the courage to celebrate those intensely joyful moments, even though we've convinced ourselves that severing happiness is inviting disaster. Well, this wholeheartedness living is a revolution. Done my part. Anyone who has found us? Your favorite paragraph?
It was page 83. About gratitude. We each have the choice in any setting to step back and let go of the mindset of scarcity. Once we let go of scarcity, we discover the surprising truth of sufficiency. By sufficiency, I don't mean a quantity of anything. Sufficiency isn't 2 steps up from poverty or 1 step short of abundance. It isn't a measure of barely enough or more than enough. Sufficiency isn't an amount at all. It is an experience, a context we generate, a declaration, and knowing that there is enough and that we are enough.
Wow.
Yes, that's what I underlined that.
I also underlined. Highlighted.
Wow.
Anyone who got it?
Me, I remember somewhere, but I can't see. Unajua kwa hii wezi nini. It was about courage. There was somewhere alikuwa anasema about somebody raising up hand. Then I was like, one time my daughter akaniuliza, ati sasa kwa class mwalimu ukimwambia mwalimu sijasikia ama sijaelewa, then anaku snob kitu kama hiyo, then what do you do? But I didn't have an answer. Unajua when it comes to a public school, huwezi mwambia ati sijui ufanye hivi ama just keep quiet. So I can't remember why exactly, but there was something like that. but I didn't know what to tell her. Uko unajua in the midst of so many pupils, then uko hapa hata sijashika, then watoto
And the teacher doesn't answer.
and then teacher doesn't answer you, anakuignore.
Alafu anasema kwa hiyo still that huyo ni yule mmoja mwenye ako na courage ya kuuliza.
Yeah.
She's speaking
Sure.
to
Yeah.
others.
That's what the book
many
says.
other.
Yeah, true.
The book says when that person asks the question, they're asking for so many others.
Yeah.
I've remembered.
I read that. A deep sense of love and belonging is an irreducible need of all women, men, and children. We are biologically, cognitively, physically, and spiritually wired to love, to be loved, and to belong. When those needs are met, we don't function as we were meant to. We break, we fall apart, we numb, we ache, we hurt others, we get sick. There are certainly other causes of illness, numbing, that one is not easy to say. So the key thing is, no matter how much you say you want to be single, you want to be lonely, I think we're just wired to love and to be loved. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah, I also remember
We
that.
get sick. Jackie and Sheila.
Okay, for this one, as we struggle to be on the how do you pronounce it? To be authentic and brave, it's important to remember that cruelty always hurts, even if the criticisms are untrue.
Yeah.
When we go against the grain and put ourselves and our work out in the world, some people will feel threatened and they will go after what hurts the most.
Yeah.
Our appearance, our lovability, and even our parenting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Wow, that's so true.
I think that's also what makes people not to be authentic.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't hurt.
I'm really
You see,
feeling
there
like
is-
so many things are cycle.
Yeah.
It's a circle. One feeds into the other.
And you see that a lot with people who are in the public eye. The way people attack those people in the meet.
You have to do it.
Okay, for me there are so many.
Yeah.
So many. I wish I could just paraphrase because I can't find the ideal one. But there's this story where she shares about the lady who was going to school and there was something happening for the children, and then she came late. And then there were these others who were looking at her,
yes,
rolling
yes.
their eyes.
Yeah.
But there are these others who came to her and shared their story of how they were.
They've also missed.
Yeah, they've
That was so
Content.
passion. It was compassion.
Yes.
And I was asking myself, how different would this world be if we were all like that?
Yeah.
But the
true.
easy thing is to
Pretty
criticize,
cruel.
to judge,
Yeah.
to be nasty. Yeah, but all these people had the same opportunity, but this group chose to be compassionate, and the others chose to be judgmental.
Yeah.
So I think every day it's a conscious decision you have to practice and to live. Whether you have to, whether you want to be compassionate or not,
Yeah,
whether you
true.
want to love and receive love, or there's also that part she talks about shame and taking the edge off, allowing yourself to be vulnerable. You know, it's going to hurt, yes, but would I rather numb and
Okay,
or do I allow myself to be vulnerable and go through that process?
And we eat our problems.
Yeah. So there's a lot for me. There's the perfectionism, there's the shame and judgment and all that. And there's also the beauty of compassion.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's what makes us authentically human. And the choices that we make every day.
Read yours.
People are like stained glass window.
Yeah.
They sparkle and shine when the sun is out.
Yeah.
But when the darkness sets in, their beauty is revealed only if there is a light from within.
I read that like 5 times. I even pictured it. I didn't forget it. There are so many
so
things that we can take out from this. I mean, as you said, this is something that you always want to go back to. This is my second time reading it, and I felt like it was there. That's how I knew to tell you guys we read it, and I love that we read it at the first day of the month, 2022. I'm so excited, guys. If you can pick up this book by Dr. Brene Brown, please find it. She has a podcast. She's on TED Talk. Like, she's all over me. I just love listening to her. I follow her even on Instagram. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening, guys. It was fun. I hope you guys had fun. I hope you didn't feel like you didn't discuss the book. We will go on with our discussions later. Thank you so much for coming, and thank you for being with us. Have a good one. It is always a pleasure to have hosted you. Thank you for listening. Follow us on the socials, Instagram and Twitter at BeDifferentKE, at I am Nekesa. Facebook is Nekesa Ochieng. Let's keep talking.